2 games, 2 wins. Series already in the bag for the Birds. Tonight, they go for the sweep. It's the Orioles on Masson, and the Orioles with a chance to open up this season 3-0, and some blue skies have opened up for our ball game tonight as they wrap up the series with the Minnesota Twins. Last time the Orioles had a sweep here in Baltimore against the Twins, 3-game sweep, came in 2012. The Orioles have a chance to do that again tonight, and what a way that would be to open up the series. They've already guaranteed themselves with those 2 wins, of course, of a series victory. And everybody has been involved. The starters, bullpen extensively used, and the lineup, up and down the lineup, everybody who's played has contributed. Game 1 was out of Jones' 5th inning. He would score a record, Machado, and a 2-0 lead for the Orioles. And then the walk-off, 9th inning, 2 down. Davis scores. Wieters gets pummeled. Second game, Jonathan Scope, RBI, 2nd inning. That one would just fall in. Orioles on their way. Chris Davis on his way with the first home run of the season, a 2-1 lead. Record again, sac fly, 4th inning. That would give the Orioles a 3-1 lead. Hardy scored, and Wieters the double in the 5th. Scoring Trumbo would put it away. Orioles came away with the victory in both of them. Mike Bordick, great way to start. Better way would be to win 3.
Well, it would be nice to be able to sweep, or at least have the opportunity to sweep the Minnesota Twins after what happened last year. They weren't able to pull a victory out against the Twins. So a great start for the team. And you're right, everybody is contributing. Starting pitching's been good. Everybody wishes Chris Tillman would have had a couple more innings under his belt there, but due to the rain, you take what you get. Gallardo looks super. The bullpen's been tested here in the early going, and they've risen to the occasion. But I think offensively, the walks have really changed the game for this team. 11 walks in two games. It's unheard of for this Bopper lineup.
And the Orioles tonight will get a look at Ubaldo Jimenez. Is this a season where he puts up the positive numbers for the Orioles?
Yeah, well, you know, Ubaldo had a great first half of the season last year. He's actually the most consistent pitcher for the Orioles in their rotation. They're looking for him to be consistent all year long this year. I think a lot of it comes to the fact that the year before, 2014, he only threw 125 innings. So he may have fatigued at the end of the year. You don't really expect it, but the fact that 2014 was such a different year for him. Spent some time on the DL and didn't get – he really had a miserable year in the rotation, ended up getting moved to the bullpen. So, you know, looking for another solid year from him. They're counting on him to be another guy that really kind of stabilizes things, eats up some innings, and saves the bullpen.
And you want to have the starters pushing one another, obviously, right from the get-go. Tillman, with his great start, even though it was only for 2 innings, kind of set a tone. And then you get your first start, as Gallardo did a job through 5. And for the season, 5 or 6 innings may be what we're going to see from him, and then go to the bullpen. And now you get the push here for the next 2 guys in that starting rotation. If you can get that kind of push going early, that's a positive thing for the O's.
Absolutely. They can ride on momentum, just keep passing the baton. This team, you know, confidence breeds confidence. That's what this team's about.
All right, Orioles take the field. When we come back, we'll check the lineups as they go for the sweep. Mr. Jones, will he be in that lineup? Answer is no. We'll talk about why. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Navy Federal, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years, federally insured by NCUA. Rain showers all afternoon. Now some blue sky. Sun is actually out a bit. Our BGE Home game time temperature is a cool 56 degrees. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Twins. Dozier, Santana, and Mauer. Santana, first appearance in the series. Sano, Plouffe, Rosario, Escobar, Murphy, his first appearance in Buxton. Trevor Plouffe against the O's has been a very tough out.
Well, let's take a look at Ubaldo Jimenez's pitch arsenal. Last season, the fastball 64% of the time, and he was on with that pitch. Working at the bottom of the zone, great late movement. Ground ball rate climbed almost 10 points last season. Breaking ball has a real nice slider. Curveball at times. Change up the split finger, 17%. If he gets ahead, look at him go to that pitch for the big strikeout. 184 innings of work last year with a 4.11 earned run average. 12 wins led the way, but he made 32 starts. Big bounce back year last year for Jimenez. They're looking for some good things out of him. More consistency this year, and just veteran leadership under his belt. He's going to have a solid year.
He is 4-3 with a very solid 2.72 ERA against the Twins in 8 appearances. And we are underway. And the pitch will be in there for a strike. Dozier looking for his first hit of the new season. Numbers from last year. He has had an 0 for 7. Orioles have the shift on in the infield against him. And the pitch will be outside. Caleb Joseph is doing the catching in this ball game, as Matt Wieters will get the night off. One reason to give Wieters the break. The other, that with Joseph behind the plate, Jimenez's numbers are exceedingly good. Foul back and out of play. Jimenez has a 2.92 ERA in 32 games when Caleb Joseph has been behind the plate. When it's Matt Wieters, it's 7.02 in the 14 games. That's not a knock on anybody. It's just what it is.
Right, and it happens in the game. It's unbelievable. Some pitchers just feel more comfortable throwing to different catchers. Caleb Joseph sets up a little bit differently and might be perfect for Ubaldo's sight line and his ability to drive the ball downhill. Now, many pitchers feel comfortable throwing to Matt Wieters, his leadership back there. You know, they like him taking charge and calling the game, but Ubaldo, for one reason or another, very comfortable pitching to Caleb.
That one is a bouncer right off the plate. It will be foul. And Dozier holds it to a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Ubaldo with a great start, 7-4 and a 2.81 in his first 17 games last year. And then it tailed off. The second half he went 5-6 with a 5.63 ERA in the last 15 starts. So it was a Dixonian year with a tale of 2 halves for Jimenez. That one put up in the air and back. Caleb Joseph coming back. That's going to be on the other side of the screen. Caleb getting a little workout on a couple of foul balls.
Foul balls there, giving chase, running out of some real estate. Did a nice job working the perimeter here, getting ahead of Dozier. Dozier, you mentioned it, 0 for 7 here to start the season, and he typically a big-time spark plug for this team at the top of the lineup. He has the ability to draw a walk, and of course, great power.
1-2, and that froze him. He knew it. Good pitch by Jimenez, 76 miles an hour.
Boy, it's almost an eephus breaking ball here. Boy, locking Dozier up. Threw him everything he had in the book that at bat. Finishes on top. Big first out of the game.
That'll bring Santana up. As we said, he's making his first appearance in this series in the starting lineup. Danny Santana's been in as a pinch runner. That has been it. He has gone 5 for 29, 8 career games against the Orioles. You were talking with the Minnesota announcers about Santana. They compared him to Ryan Flaherty. They're trying to see if he can be their super utility player, someone who can play around the infield, even in the outfield, come in with speed as a pinch runner, a defensive replacement later in a ball game. So right now that is Santana's role with this Twins club.
Yeah, if not an everyday player, definitely he's going to be a super utility player and probably will get 500 at bat.
Look at that drag bunt. That is perfect. That is a work of art right there. You could not place that ball rolling it with your hand any better than that bunt by Santana.
Well, that is his value. Great speed, the ability to move the ball all around the infield. Look at him take this pitch with him. That's called the drag bunt. Lefty out of the box, already has a half step on Jonathan Schoop. And as far as placement goes, this is where you want to put it. He stays on the breaking ball. He doesn't force the issue. Stiff bat there, so just solid contact. You want to try to kill it right at the edge, the grass and the dirt. Perfect placement. Jonathan Schoop has to eat it.
Now he's got some real good speed over there. He was 8 for 12 stealing bases, and he's got a big lead. Mauer's batting third in the lineup. Mauer standing in with a couple of hits in 7 at bats in the series. He has gone just 1 for 14 in his career against Ubaldo Jimenez. And there he goes. Pitch out, throw, Caleb right there, and he got him. So the Orioles guessed right or stole a sign, but in any event, Santana's caught stealing by Caleb Joseph.
Great anticipation by the Baltimore Orioles and Caleb Joseph. Santana, he is a spark plug out there. You knew he was going to steal. This team needs to be ignited, so why not try with Santana? But the pitch out call, Caleb Joseph, great footwork and throw on the money. Look at Caleb, that back foot getting underneath him. Strong throwing position. Perfect throw and tag there. Jonathan Schoop on the end to clean it up.
Paul Molitor is asked to hold play up here while his video people take a look as whether they want to challenge. The answer is no. No, they'll let that one go, and that's a big play to start the game. You get him out of there, get the speedster off. 2 outs, nobody on.
You see Jonathan Schoop straddling the bag. Pretty close there with that fingertip getting in the back edge.
So 2 down, nobody on. Mauer will take the pitch, and it is down low and a 2-0 count. Joseph threw out 33% of base stealers last year.
Well, Caleb Joseph has learned so much behind the plate from John Russell, from Matt Wieters, and he has taken it to heart.
That one is drilled to right field. It is way back at the wall, and goodbye, home run. Mauer delivers the homer, his 3rd in his career in this ballpark. And with that, the Twins get on the board early at a 1-0 lead.
Well, probably wishing they hadn't run Santana there. Get Mauer a shot for the 2-run homer. And Mauer has lost a little bit of his power over the years, but still continues to be a very dangerous hitter. When you make a mistake, and that was up in the zone fastball, it's the arms extended. Look at how he stays behind the ball. Well, that fan doesn't want a Joe Mauer home run ball, so he'll give it right back.
So Mauer puts him up. He and Plouffe have had home runs in this series. Here is Miguel Sano. Sano's looking for his first hit. He is 0 for 6. First 2 games he started in right field. Sano, the designated hitter in this ball game. Orioles shift the infield. He goes the other way down the line, and that's out of play.
Let's take a look at the Orioles defense. Been so solid here the first couple of games, but actually the last 4 years Orioles been able to hang their hat on their Gold Glove caliber defense. Tonight Reimhold to get the start in left field, Rickard in center field with Jones down, Trumbo back in right, Hardy and Schoop up the middle, of course Machado and Davis on the corners, and Joseph behind the plate.
And a called strike in the inside corner. Marty Foster has the plate tonight for this umpiring crew. Mike Malinsky's down at first base. Mike Winters, who's the crew chief, is at second. Mark Wegner at third. Pitch taken away. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Jimenez gave up 20 home runs last year. 13 of those were hit by left-handers. And Mauer, the left-hander, gets one here in the first inning. 2-2 pitch on the way to him, jammed him, and we'll fight that one off.
So last year we talked about Ubaldo kind of trying to clean up his delivery. Now this delivery is something he's been comfortable with his whole career. He's been an all-star before with Colorado and put up some very impressive numbers. But last year they brought Ramon Martinez in to try to clean it up a little bit.
That ball's going to be out into left field for a base hit. Sano will make the big turn. Reimhold in left. It's a single.
And then so last year they limited his hands going over his head, but he goes back to it this year. He feels more comfortable that way, and he feels like he can have more success. Take a look at the strong in the spring, deep inside the numbers. Ubaldo Jimenez got off to an incredible first half start last season. The 17 starts, 7 wins, 2.81 earned run average. But then fatigue, I believe, set in the second half. His walk rate climbed. See the earned run average jumping way up over 5. All in all, the year was a very solid year, and the numbers comparable to his all-star times back in 2010 when he was with Colorado, but looking for just more consistency.
Trevor Plouffe goes the other way, right field. Trumbo was playing way over, and a fine catch made by Jonathan Scope. Trumbo probably was not going to get there from where he had been positioned. A run on 3 hits in the inning. The home run by Mauer has given the Twins the early lead. Nothing lead. Take a look at the Orioles lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. So it'll be Rickard moving into that #1 spot after hitting 9th in the first 2. Raimel Machado, Davis, Trumbo, and Hardy. Alvarez, Scope, Caleb Joseph, 9th. 164 consecutive, most in the majors for men.
Let's take a look at Phil Hughes' pitch arsenal last season. The fastball 80% of the time. As a 2-seamer, 4-seamer, and he cuts his fastball. Breaking ball, the curve. He's been working on a split finger for the changeup. Very solid year. 11 wins with a 4.40 earned run average. 94 punchouts, just 16 walks though on the year for Hughes. He is aggressive in the strike zone. You're going to see him attack this Orioles lineup with fastballs and cutters.
And against the Orioles, he has 8 wins, 5 losses, 20 starts. All those games with the Yankees with the Orioles, sorry. Rickard will foul it off. What a beginning for the major league career for this Rule 5. He's gone 4 for 7. He has picked up an RBI. He scored a run, couple of walks. In the ball games, he's been heavily involved in the offense for the Orioles.
He's made it tough on the pitcher. They really had to work hard to get Joey Rickard out. He's not afraid to take counts deep, and he's come up with some big 2-strike hits here in the early going. Really hasn't let up at all from spring training.
No. And this is where Buck Showalter likes him best, is in that leadoff spot. Be a table setter, get on for the Orioles. Straight up defense against him. Not much of a book on him for other teams at this point in time. So they'll quickly have one though after the start that he is having for the Orioles.
Yeah, trying to find a hole, some place to attack, a weakness in Joey Rickard's swing. They've been trying to get aggressive inside, but Rickard's been able to pull the hands in so tight. He has great bat head awareness, and has been able to fight off some real tough pitches.
1-2 delivery on the way. That'll be foul back. As Mike said, you got to go after Philip Hughes because he's going to come after you. He had the fewest pitches thrown per batter on the staff. He was 3rd in the American League last year in fewest pitches thrown, 3rd over the last 2 years, only 3.52 pitches per batter. He just throws strikes. 1-2 delivery outside. It's also one of the reasons why he gave up 29 home runs. He was tied with 4 other pitchers in home runs surrendered in the American League for a high, because there are so many strikes thrown. You're going to get some you're going to be able to hit. 7th pitch of this at bat, major accomplishment for Ricker right away against Phillip Hughes. 2 ball 2 strike delivery to him, and that will be inside. 3 ball 2 strike count.
He works another great at bat here, working it to 3-2, and we've seen this here in the first series of the year. So many of the Orioles hitters working full counts, showing their patience early on, trusting their hands, waiting for their pitch.
3-2. He rarely walks anybody, and a ground ball will come right back to it. Hughes will make the play in a hurry. Rickard is retired.
Take a look at the Twins defense behind Hughes. Rosario, Buxton, and Santana in the Twins outfield. Escobar and Dozier will be the keystone combination. Plouffe and Maurer on the corners, and John Ryan Murphy gets the start in the final game of the series.
Nolan Reimold sitting in the number 2 spot, starting in left field with Adam Jones out of the lineup. We'll get to that in a minute. Reimold, a 1 for 5 off Hughes, a home run. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Hughes, as we said, his numbers last year, lowest rate among pitchers who worked 150 innings and walks, .93 per 9 innings. In this day and age, that is phenomenal.
Oh my, it sure is. So many pitchers really kind of afraid to challenge hitters and pitch to contact. With Hughes, he just attacks. Now there is some deception. He has a short arm kind of delivery, much like Zach Britton from the right side.
Boy, with a shift on, a broken bat, base headed to right field, right where the Twins second baseman was not playing. And Reimold starts this new season with a single.
There you go. Not trying to do too much. Opening on the right side. Hey, let's beat the shift again. Pull the hands inside. Easy base hit.
So Reimold on against Hughes, and Manny Machado, who had been up in the lineup in the leadoff spot for the first 2 games, moves down to the number 3 spot with Adam Jones out of the lineup. And he's had a 2 for 9 so far, but he's had big numbers against Phillip Hughes. .500. He is 8 for 16 with a home run lifetime off this 29-year-old right-hander. 1 down, runner on. And the pitch inside corner, knees for a strike.
Yeah, Phil Hughes, he really takes a lot of guesswork out of, for a hitter, because he attacks so aggressively with the fastball. Saw that the rate and percentage of fastballs that he throws combined with that cutter, up around 70% of the time. So you can gear up for the heater. And the fact of the matter is his control's good enough to throw strikes. But the command, he misses over the plate, and he misses elevated, and that's why the home run total is so high. He isn't aggressively pounding the bottom of the strike zone. He just kind of moves it around the strike zone, and a lot of times mistakes at the top.
0-2 count with 1 down on Machado. 2 for 9 so far. He's had a hit in each of the first 2, at least to start the season. That is strike 3 in the inside corner. So in, out, in, and that takes care of that at bat.
Questionable call here. Not too happy with the height or the location. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch track here and see where's the cutter end up. Looks like it's a little out of the box there. Tough pitch, but the righties have to beware of this cutter. That's a natural cut piece. Getting in there, he'll throw the 4-seamer in there off the plate and then throw the cut fastball. And you see by the height there, that's well below Machado's knees.
That'll bring up Chris Davis with his first home run of the season. He too has had big numbers against Hughes, a .296 career average and 1 home run. Shift is on in the infield. Nolan Reimold at first base, 2 down, and the big cut. He's had a 2 for 7 in the series, along with that home run, getting on base in each of the first 2 games of this 3-game set. The Orioles trying to start the season out with that 3-0 mark against a ball club that they could not win a game against last year. What a difference, eh?
Yeah.
0-1 count. That one hit the other way to left field. Rosario's got that one lined up, and he will put it away. So the Orioles, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base after 1. The Twins up 1-0. lineup. He wanted to go, but I said no. Here's the reason why. Take a look at Adam, opening day and game 2.
Yeah, flinching on Monday, looking like he wants to grab the side a little bit, and then last night, boy, he goes down, and that is some pain right there. You can tell the captain is hurting for sure.
Adam was a little sore in his rib area yesterday. I didn't like he wants to play, said he's fine, and probably not real happy with the old manager right now, but he just thought it'd be smart to give him a day. The only time it was a challenge for him was the last at bat, because I was asking if he'd felt it before. It's been something nagging him.
The ground ball is hit by Rosario to second base, played by Jonathan Scope, just in time to get the out. For Adam Jones, what Buck Showalter went on to say later, he said, I'm not using the old words. So what it is, an oblique problem apparently, and those can last or be over in a matter of a day. So we'll see. Yeah, exactly. And I think Buck certainly needs to proceed with caution with Adam Jones. But you have to admire Adam Jones not wanting to be out of the lineup. He wants to be in there every day. He is one of the players that plays the game hard every night and right. So they certainly miss him, but they need him to be healthy. So we'll make sure that heals up the right way. He missed 25 games last year. The Orioles were 17-8 in the ball games he was out of. That ball will be fouled away by Escobar, the switch hitter. Has had a very good start, 3 for 8 in the first 2 games. He's had only a couple of at-bats against Jimenez, the Orioles starter, going 1 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. That's lashed down the line. That's going to be a problem for the Orioles. Chased down by Reimold. Big turn halfway to second base, comes back on a good throw to second base by Reimold. Base hit Escobar. Let's take a look at our PNC inside the numbers.
Well, look at the series recap here. Starters ERA, bullpen ERA, runners in scoring position, and 1 through 4 hitters, and the Orioles leading the way in every category. Really, the O's outplaying the Twins. Starters, of course, Tillman with the short outing, and then Gallardo pitching 5 strong innings. Bullpens, both bullpens have been tested, but the runners with scoring position have been so important, and the Orioles have come through not only with just that batting average, but the opportunities have been there. And I think the added walks have been impressive. And of course, they're led by the top of the lineup: Machado, Davis, Jones. I mean, these guys can do it. They're consistent. Trumbo, of course, had 4 hits on opening day. So a lot of positives here to start the series and start the season.
John Ryan Murphy's behind the plate, with Suzuki getting the game off. Throw over. One of the problems for Jimenez last year, base stealers. 22 out of 25 were successful against Jimenez. So he really has to work when he's got anybody on base who's the threat to go, and Escobar is one of those who can steal a base, and this Minnesota team wants to be aggressive. Pitch will be taken for a strike. This is a player that's probably going to play a big part in the season for the Twins. John Ryan Murphy, who's doing the catching, came over from the Yankees in a deal where Aaron Hicks, an outstanding and much discussed outfielder, was traded. And Murphy's going to be the backup catcher, but probably more of a co-catcher as this season goes along. Taken for a strike. He brings a 287 major league average with him to the Twins. Played for the Yankees in 14, a little bit in 2013, and then last year was in for 87 games and 155 at bats with New York. Caleb Joseph steps up away. 0-2 delivery on the way down to first. Off the glove, fair ball. That's going to go into foul territory, and right off the tarp, Escobar at third's going to be waved home. Going to bring him in. It's underneath the tarp, and they will put the runners probably at second and third. And they already have indicated that's the case. Ball ended up behind the tarp. So the ground rules here. Runners have to be placed with the umpires, and they said but for that he would have stopped at third anyway.
Right. Well, Murphy really didn't have a great offensive spring, but here sneaking one down the right field line. Looked like it might have kicked up at the end and caught Davis on the wrist, and there you see it nestling behind the tarp and the wall. Nice job by Trumbo putting the arms up, freezing the runners at second and third.
That's an error charged on Chris Davis at first base. So yeah, it's a tough one because that ball was really skimming along when it got to him. Here's a big chance now Ground ball, runners coming up the middle. Hardy's got it. He's going to go to first and gets it there in time for the out on Buxton. And he had to hurry it with that speed he's got, but it's an RBI. Escobar will score from third base, and Murphy goes to third.
Oh, Baldo's going to hate missing this one when he goes back and looks at the replay. But a great play by Hardy. Ball hits the glove and it's gone. We get the speedy Buxton. Good play there by the shortstop.
So credit the RBI to Buxton and a 2-0 lead for the Twins. Murphy at third base now, but there are two down, and that will bring up Dozier. Brian Dozier, strikeout victim, first time up. This is where the Twins have struggled here this season. In the first two games, they were just 2 for 25 with runners in scoring position in the first two ball games. That's not good.
No, not good, but you have to kind of give the Orioles pitching a little bit of credit, you know, putting the right fingers down from Wieters and then executing the pitches in those tough situations.
So now Dozier will try and get another run in with a 2-out base hit if he can. He takes a 2-0 count. Dozier would love to get on the board here. Sooner that gets done, it's just a big load off your back. I mean, it really, you know, you're 0 for 7. What's that? During the year, you wouldn't even think about it. But to open the year, you just want to hit.
Yep.
Strike ticket.
Sometimes that first hit's the hardest one to get. You press in the early going. You come out of spring training feeling good about so many things, and then all of a sudden somebody comes up with a diving play, and you start going, oh no. You start pressing a little bit. Next thing you know, you're 0 for 7, 0 for 10.
I'm never going to have a hit.
Right.
And that one's up high. So a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Dozier. The Orioles have had to use the bullpen extensively with that rain in game 1, and then 5 innings work by the starter Gallardo yesterday. Good pitch, one after one that was down low. Buck Showalter said Mike Wright's the only one not available in this ball game tonight. There's Gallardo, got the win for the Orioles in his first start as the Knoll.
Real nice job. Really worked through the 5 innings, but never gave in.
3-2 delivery in the air to center field. Rickard is there and will put it away. So a run scores on 1 hit, 1 error, and a base runner left on. Twins up 2-0. Is Kerry Golden from Middle River. 500 for being selected and 500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play Home Run Rich's scratch offs and win up to $50,000. Enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. There's Adam Jones. Game off here after starting the first 2 and successfully so, hoping that oblique problem is not one that's going to hang around on him. Orioles bat here with Trumbo, Hardy, and Alvarez due up against Philip Hughes. Pitch taken down low for a ball. Trumbo's gone 3 for 12 with a home run lifetime off Hughes, who was 11 and 9 last year. 1-0 count, pretty much straightaway D. Outfield shaded a bit to right. That'll be foul back.
Well, Trumbo, the opening game, had 4 hits, and he was just spraying the ball all over the field. So they're kind of staying honest defensively against Mark right now. Once he starts feeling more comfortable in the box, you'll see that bat head flying through the zone. And the long ball's getting out of here. He's let it rip a couple times. Looking to deposit one out in the Orioles bullpen.
1-1 delivery in the air to right field this time. Santana's playing right and was fairly shallow, so he's right there and puts it away. Our American League leaders brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
Now the leaderboard for most home runs allowed in 2015. Jeremy Guthrie with the Royals 29. There's Phil Hughes 29 with the Twins. Samardzija had 29 as well. Sanchez and Santiago, big number there, but Phil Hughes, the reason being he just does not want to walk anybody. He says, here it is, hit it if you can. Mistakes got hit 29 times last year out of the yard.
That'll be taken by Hardy for a strike. Boy, Hardy's had the at bats against Hughes. He is 5 for 30. He has picked up 1 home run against him. That's a 167 average against Philip Hughes. Ground ball over the head towards short. Escobar cut off Dozier. Oh, nice play. Dozier doing the job of the shortstop. That's a long throw.
Boy, that is an impressive play there. The second baseman, Brian Dozier, now came up as a shortstop, so certainly familiar with that side of the diamond, but all of your energy is going towards the right field line. What a great play here. Actually backhanding it, throwing it back across the body on the money to get J.J. Hardy. That one's going to make a highlight film. Beautiful play there.
Hardy retired. A couple of quick outs for Hughes. Here's Alvarez, the DH, looking for his first hit of the year, and as an Oriole, 0 for 5. He has picked up 3 walks, one of them an intentional pass, and has never had an at bat against Philip Hughes. Shift is put on against Pedro Alvarez. Infield shaded to the right, the outfield shaded to left. 0-1 delivery to him is hit the other way, and that'll be out of there.
Well, you see something has got to give. Take a look at the Jeep inside the numbers. The Orioles 5.5 walks per game this season. Yeah, 11 walks coming into game 3. But Phil Hughes very stingy on the walks. 0.79 walks per 9 innings, and that's 2014 and 15. So proven to limit the walks. You know, the Orioles lineup, they're not going to change much. They're going to try to stay patient, wait Hughes out, and wait for those mistakes. Get a cookie and let it fly.
Pitch is taken down low. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Alvarez. 2 down. Outfield moves even a little more towards right here in the person of Santana out there. That's right there. So he got him. Hughes will get the strikeout call and retires the side in order. We've completed 2, final game of this 3-game set. Old one to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. So with Adam Jones out of the lineup, Joey Rickard makes the start in center field.
Buck Showalter very comfortable moving Joey Rickard around in the outfield, the Orioles outfield. Yeah, he can play center, left, right. It doesn't matter. Buck Showalter tested him. We talked about that all in spring training just to find out what he has. Well, he trusts him enough to run him out in center field.
He has played a lot of center field in the minors. Twins bat as we go to the third inning. Danny Santana base hit, his first time up for the Twins. Mauer, then Sano, and that one will be fouled off the other way.
Now Santana, that beautiful drag bunt towards Jonathan Scope, and of course everybody shortening up on the infield because of that Santana speed. Manny, good step and a half in on the grass.
And the pitch will just miss on the inside corner. A 2-ball, 1-strike count. Danny Santana out of the Dominican, 25 years old. Playing time over the last 2 years at the major league level. And that one turns the other way. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count. He hit .319 with over 400 at bats a couple years ago. Then last year got into 91 games, hit only .215. Santana into the hole, and he's got a base hit. Well, the speedster is on again, 2 for 2 in his debut in the lineup for Minnesota. Regular season indeed is here, but you've still got time to secure your spot for all the action. A full or partial season plan, exclusive ticket savings, the most flexible exchange policy in the majors, access to postseason tickets, and more. Don't miss an inning of excitement. Go to Orioles.com/season or call 888-848-BIRD. Mauer delivered the home run. His first of the year and only his second hit in 15 at bats against Ubaldo Jimenez. Mauer now has got 7 career homers against the Orioles, 3 of them in this ballpark. And that eephus pitch never came down.
No, it didn't. Lost the grip there. You see Joe Mauer's power zone. He can cover it pretty much every part of the plate, and he can expand to the top as well. That's where the home run pitch ended up, in the zone, top of the strike zone, and he did not miss it.
2-0 count. Average against Jimenez last year much higher when there were runners on, 281, as opposed to when the bases were empty, 239. So working out of the stretch, high numbers. Part of that may be his concern for base stealers. So he's half looking at the runner and half at the hitter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now he's a little bit slower just naturally because of the arm stab in the back. Takes a little bit longer for that arm to get back on top. So base stealers certainly aware of that. They're going to be more aggressive. But Ubaldo tries to mix things up a little bit by changing his times to the plate. He'll pick off every now and then. But I think he does get a little too concerned, and it causes his delivery to get it slightly out of whack, and there might be more mistakes there, hence the higher batting average.
3-ball, 1-strike count. No move to go by Santana yet. There he goes. Pitch taken. Joseph trying to get him again. Not this time. So Santana will pick up the stolen base as Mauer took it for a 3-2. Caleb Joseph nailed him the first time on a pitch out. Perfect throw.
Now another great effort by Caleb Joseph, and another incredible jump by Santana. Caleb with the quick feet back there, but speed just wins that one. Take a look at Caleb Joseph. He gets it going. Boom. Great feet. Up and firing a strike. Santana way in ahead. The jump wins.
So now Mauer gets the RBI opportunity. One of the best, 4th in the American League with runners in scoring position last year for Mauer. 3-ball, 2-strike count, nobody out. Mauer goes the other way and foul.
Well, Mauer, the perfect example of take what's given, and Ubaldo trying to work him away there. So what's he do? Just slaps it down the left field line. Just foul. Pitch in. He has ability to turn on the ball. That's why the defense plays pretty much straight up all over the field. They respect Mauer and his ability to just hit the ball where it's pitched.
0 for 2 in these situations so far this year. Not now. That's going to be a base hit. Santana with that great speed will be held. Ball picked up by Reimold. Gets it into the cutoff man in a hurry. So the Twins have runners at first and third with nobody out. Threatening here with the middle of the lineup. This week only T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. Well, while the Orioles are trying to come away with a sweep here in this series, Twins trying to avoid losing the first 3 games of the year for the second year in a row. This is the way Paul Molitor's ball club started last year. They ended up 0-3 and then 1-6 before they got things turned around and played 500 baseball in April. Sano with a big cut. He had a base hit his first time up. For a young player last year in these situations, that .284 average is pretty impressive.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, he is locked in. He doesn't try to do anything different. When he steps into the box, he just wants to do damage. He wants to punish the baseball. They're trying to get past him. Very healthy but in control hacks up there from the youngster Sano.
It's taken 50 pitches to record 6 outs. Not good. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Sano. Runners at first and third. Ground ball to third will be foul. So Jimenez with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Last year the left-handers 227 off of Aldo. The right-handers hit 290. The home runs were the other way around. Left-handers hit 13 and right-handers had 7. Overall, the average against him at 257. Not bad at all. 1-2 delivery. That'll be up high. And Sano works it even off the fastball. 2-2.
Well, Brad Brock had some good success with Sano up at the top of the strike zone, trying to get one there. But Sano not biting on it, showing the good patience.
2-2. Santana at third, Mauer at first. And he fooled him. Did not get a good cut at that one. Jimenez wins that battle and gets his second K.
Well, it's going to be a key for Ubaldo, much like Gallardo, mixing the pitches up, keep hitters guessing. And they're not a perfect pitch by any means up in the zone, but just enough to keep the hitter off balance and get it by him.
That'll bring Plouffe up. He popped out to second base his first time up. Jimenez 100 wins, 94 losses in his career. He got his 100th career win against Washington last September 22nd. Pitch to him to the middle. Got a chance. There's one. Relay to first, and they get the double play. Plouffe hits into the double play to end the inning. No runs on a couple of hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Twins have the early 2-0 lead. Split 4 with the Rays. The Rays are coming here for the next 3-game set. The Jays hitters struck out 46 times against Tampa Bay pitchers in that 4-game series. Yankees today over the Astros 8-5 to share a big day. Miller got the save with a solid inning, even with that bad wrist. And the Red Sox and Indians snow in Cleveland. Pitch on the way by Hughes on the inside corner for his strike. Jonathan Scope leading it off. That's a hand you don't want to meet in the dark, I'll tell you that much.
No.
Yikes. I've never seen one of those before. Outside for a ball. Scope with a 2 for 7 in the first 2 games. Jonathan in the 8th spot. Caleb Joseph, and then record at the top of the order for the Orioles, batting here in the 3rd inning. 1-1 delivery. Ground ball back to the mound. Stabbed by Hughes. Mauer got him. Now this Sunday, don't miss Kids opening day. The O's take on the Rays at 1:35. First 7,500 fans 14 and under get the Eat Sleep Orioles t-shirt. After the game, the kids get to run the bases, and fans, the young fans, will have a chance to be on the field with the Orioles. They'll be picked at random to participate. For tickets and information, Orioles.com/kids. Like that one.
Yeah, dressed like that. I heard somebody say there might be snow this weekend here in Baltimore.
Temperatures are supposed to be in the teens at night.
It's playoff baseball right there. You're going to get used to it, right?
Right. 1-0 count with 1 away. Caleb Joseph. His first appearance for the Orioles this year, and he's going to go to right field. It's an AT BAL though. Santana's there to put it away. 2 down. Catch the complete game and never miss a home run or game-changing play. for O's alerts and opportunities to win exclusive prizes. Meet and greets included with the players. Text Orioles to 29292. That's Orioles to 29292. This is the kind of game Hughes pitches when he's on.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, there are 3 outs in an inning, and you're wondering, has he thrown a ball yet? But he's tough. 7 in a row, retired. Here's Rickard, who grounded out his first time up. Pitch will turn him.
You wonder. No way.
What do you?
I was just thinking old school, you know. So here's Joey Rickard, young player, first time in the big leagues. He's had a couple real good games, and there's a fastball up and in, and that's an old school thinking. Typically, it wouldn't wait till the 3rd game if it's a young guy. It might be after the first at bat, but I don't know if Phil Hughes would do that. What do you think?
I think he would. Yeah. I think that's perfectly okay. 1-1 delivery on away. Just a reminder, I know you're playing well, and I don't intend to give you anything to hit, so watch this.
That's what the thinking is. Yeah, typically, you move the feet a little bit. It does. Sure it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely it does. I mean, you know, good hitters will get right back in there, and then they'll look on that outer third, because typically that's right where pitchers end up going. But, you know, you try to do something to disrupt a little bit of the rhythm and timing of the hitter.
Popped up, shallow right field. Dozier back, Santana in. Santana wants it and puts it away. So a 1-2-3 inning, 2 in a row. 1-2-3 for Hughes. Twins on top of the ball game, 2-0. Orioles baseball is brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. Gary Thorne and Mike Wardick with you. Wrap up with this 3-game set. Young fans, height, you're looking great and dressed appropriately. Orioles will have Tampa Bay coming in for the weekend series. And it'll start tomorrow night. Chris Tillman will go against Chris Archer. Mike Wright and Drew Smiley on the Saturday game. Orioles have not announced their starter for Sunday yet. Jake Odorizzi is scheduled to pitch Sunday for Tampa Bay.
Now the Toronto Blue Jays went up there, and you mentioned all those strikeouts. I don't think they're going to be the only team that walks out of a 3-game set or 4-game set with that many strikeouts against the Rays. Always quality pitching.
81-mile-an-hour changeup at him way out in front. Rosario grounded out his first time up. Numbers on Ubaldo Jimenez here in his debut for the season. 0-2 delivery on the way and foul back off the fists. Better luck here at home than on the road for Jimenez last year. He was 6-2 with a 3.68 ERA here at Camden Yards. Good numbers for him at home for the Orioles starter. Dave Wallace, the Orioles pitching coach. 0-2 delivery to him, chopped, foul.
Well, when you think about Ubaldo and the time he's been here with the Orioles, last year he made tremendous strides going in the direction of more consistency. Back in 2014, he was up over 5 walks per game. Last year dropped it down to just a little over 3.
And just missed. Caleb Joseph gives him the glove sign. That's where he wanted it. 1-ball, 2-strike count. Rosario leaned out, held back. Escobar and Murphy to follow. One-two delivery on the way, and that'll be down the line in left field. Will that hang? And it is a foul ball.
Pretty solid approach right there from Rosario. Another pretty good pitch from Ubaldo. Split finger. Been down a little bit more, but it was fading away. Good target area for the lefty. Ubaldo's split finger comes up big to the left-handers.
Leader in triples, 15 last year. And the speed that he has, we've seen him fly here in this ball game. He is 0 for 4 lifetime against Ubaldo Jimenez. 1-2 delivery on the way, and he got him down and in. 3 strikeouts.
There you go. Keep going to the bread and butter. Nice job by Caleb Joseph attacking with the split finger there, getting ahead and not giving in at all. You see the split finger grip back there as he stabs it down towards the mound, and look at the tumbling rotation. Comes out of the hand looking like a fastball to the hitter, but it drops right at the end in front of home plate. Get a lot of those off balance swings on the good Ubaldo split finger.
Escobar will take it for a strike. Last year for Jimenez, the sinking fastball he used 50% of the time. The splitter was the second most used pitch at 19% of pitches thrown. He's got a slider, curve, a cutter, but you don't see it very often.
Yeah, he can mix it up really well, but I think the fact that he's sticking with the fastball, using that more, because he has great movement.
That one is going to tail towards left field, and Rickert's not going to be able to get a hold of that one. Rickert will pick it up at the wall, and into second base goes Escobar. So he's got a double and a single. 5 hits and 10 at bats in these 3 games against the Orioles.
Now 4th double already this year for Escobar. Pretty good piece of hitting. Now here's the 2-seamer. Look at it run, but it runs right back over the heart of the plate. Caleb Joseph wanted that one in on the edge, and Rickert giving it everything he's got to try to run it down in the gap. But it's cutting away off the left-handed bat. Escobar, yeah, 4 doubles here in this series.
Well, let's see if they can get him home. Murphy reached on an error his first time up. Rickert being positioned, of course. That'll go to short. Runner stays. Hardy gets it over in a hurry. Murphy is retired. Big second out, and Murphy does not get the runner moved up. The excitement of opening week continues this weekend as the Birds host the Rays. You can get your Birdland summer started off to a great way with this battle now back in the division. It'll be tomorrow, Saturday night, 7:05. Sunday is Kids opening day. First pitch at 1:35. Good seats remain. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Buxton drove in a run with a ground ball out. His first time up. Byron Buxton. 1 for 6 runners in scoring position so far for the Twins. So they're 3 for 31 in this series, and this is the team that hit .280 in these situations a year ago, 3rd best in the American League. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jimenez. Buxton down to 3rd and foul.
Well, teams go through their ups and downs, and you strive for that consistency where you know every team knows there's going to be peaks and valleys, but you want to avoid those big dips, those big Grand Canyons that go extended for maybe a week or even 2, sometimes even longer, depending on what's going on. Maybe some injuries possibly lead to that.
He got him. So Jimenez has been able to battle in situations where they've had a chance to score a run. He picks up his 4th strikeout with a runner left at second base. Twins lead it 2-0. On Masson, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Orioles have picked up just the 1 hit. Reimold had it, a single in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Twins 2-7-0. The Orioles 0-1-1. One of the runs unearned for the Twins, who have left 4 on, and the Orioles just 1. Phillip Hughes to Reimold, and he will take it down low. Nolan Reimold getting the start in left field last season with the Orioles. He had 30 starts that he made in left field. Started in center 8 times and right field 3 times last year. Down to 3rd, and that's going to be another base hit. Into foul territory. Rosario over to get it. Reimold on his way to second base. Throw. It gets away, but backed up by Mauer. And Reimold's 2 for 2.
Nice job getting an opportunity. Nolan Reimold finished up spring training on fire. Had 3 home runs last week of the season. Here whistling one past the effort of Plouffe. Well, he even got the leather, but a lot of speed on that ball. I see it hooking down into the corner. Nice turn at first base, getting in for a leadoff double.
So the Orioles with a leadoff man on for the first time. Hughes retired 69% of leadoff batters last year. Manny Machado called out on strikes his first time up. Manny in that 3-hole with a 2 for 10 so far in the series. Reimold will get a good secondary. And Machado will foul it back. And he's gone 1 for 3 this season in these scoring opportunities. Hit .298 last year with runners in scoring position.
Oh man, he's so dangerous. You try to come in on him, and he's got such a lightning quick bat and so quiet in the box that he just drops the head on the inside pitch. He can pull balls for home runs, pitch him away. He drives it out of the park the other way. Incredible power and patience at the plate. And just going to get better and better with each at bat.
Good stop made by Murphy. Old Reimold at second. Manny has hit in the third spot for the Orioles now 13 times. The only spot he hasn't hit in as an Oriole is in the cleanup hole. He's the number 3 hitter. He's hit .239, 5 home runs, 8 RBIs. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him, and a strike called as it hung around on the outside corner. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
You see Manny's power zone. Very good hitter at the top of the strike zone. Keeps the flat bat. No hitch at all. Keeps the hands high, so he covers the upper area, and he's hunting up there. Might be able to get him early down in the zone, but he's looking up, get the arms extended.
1-2 the count. Reimold off second. Machado takes it away. Pitch selection for Hughes based on last season. That 4-seamer 62% of the time. And he throws the, last year at least, curveball and cutter were 2 and 3 in frequency thrown. 2-2 delivery on the way, came back inside, will miss with that, and Manny works him to a 3-ball 2 strike count. He wanted that call, and he's arguing now with Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, and the catcher. Obviously Murphy was saying something to the umpire as well.
Yeah, that might be a makeup call. Manny Machado's prior at bat, he got rung up on just about that same pitch. Maybe a pitch that was a little bit worse, inside and down, and Hughes he certainly wanted the pitch. And don't tell me what to do, he's saying. He's showing some emotion out there, showing the competitive juices. He just doesn't want to be shown up. Marty Foster, that is.
Timeout asked for by Murphy, the catcher. Interesting bit of byplay. Nobody out. 3-2. Reimold, big lead at second base. Manny will go foul as he drives it back. Crowd into it here. And the Orioles with a chance to get on the board in the 4th inning. Orioles have done a good job against Hughes and forcing him to throw more pitches than he likes to. This is going to be the 7th pitch of this at bat. 43rd of the ball game. 3-2 delivery again. Manny down to third. Look out. Tore that one foul off the facade downstairs.
And Manny looking for that cutter that time. Locked him up on a couple prior pitches, but got the head out. Not a lot he can do with it. Borderline pitch. No, he's called 1 a ball, 1 a strike. You know, so you got to protect.
Gonna do the 3-2 again. Reimold edges off the bag at second, down to third again, and foul. And Manny's getting some hacks here against Phillip Hughes.
Yeah, he is. Now Hughes going with the breaking ball there. So Manny on the cutter. He's on the breaking ball. Tried to dot a fastball down and away that Manny fouled off. You see pretty much trying to stay in that lower third. Work at the bottom of the zone. Talked about how dangerous Manny can be at the top.
Manny 8 for 17 off Hughes. 3-2 delivery again, and he's got another base hit. Rosario will hold the runner at third. Ball hit so hard, no chance to score. But the Orioles have runners at first and third, and nobody out.
Boy, that is a great at bat by Manny Machado. Let's see how Hughes works on the high fastball, big cut. A slider down and away. Got a dot a fastball on the outside corner. Actually gets it. Then Manny goes to work. Eyeballing Hughes all over. Fouling off a mistake down the middle. Cutter inside. He fouls off. How about pulling another one foul? This is quite a battle. Fool him with the breaking ball once, not twice. He stays on it, picking up a nice clean base hit to left field there. Beautiful at bat from Machado. Nice little rally going here. Runners at first and third, no out.
His third hit of the season for Manny. Now the Orioles with Davis up. He flied out to left field. First time up. He's had a couple of chances with runners in scoring position so far. 1 for 2 on the first 3 games. Orioles down 2-0, but threatening to score. And Hughes with the infield back, looking for the ground ball. It'll be fouled back over the seam. Good swing by Davis, and he had a good swing last night.
Oh yeah, he did on a breaking ball. 160 home runs since 2012, most in Major League Baseball, and the Crusher getting the first in 2016. A beautiful swing on a curveball. Head was in the right position. You see Davis's power zone. He likes it down. Of course, middle. Not too many hitters don't like it in the middle of the plate, but down in the zone, he can hammer it.
The only Oriole ever to have 2 40-plus home run seasons. 0-1 the count. And the fastball will be up and in to Chris. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 47 home runs. The 4th highest total in Orioles history to take the home run title last year. Oriole base runners, Reimold and Machado. Twins willing to give up the run if they can get the double play. They move Escobar right behind second base, their shortstop. 1-1. Davis trying to lift one, fouls that one back. Hughes gets ahead of it 1-2.
And Chris Davis, every day he'll work with Scott Coolbaugh on keeping that front shoulder down and actually pointed towards the pitcher when he takes a swing. When Davis gets a little off, because the bat head drops a little bit, the front shoulder comes up and ends up almost getting into that power softball type of swing. Bat head dropping a little bit. You see a lot of foul balls from Davis. When he's right, he stays on top of the baseball.
1-2. He went around. He doesn't like it, and there is no review on that. So a strikeout takes Davis out of there, the 3rd for Hughes.
The hard breaking ball, just spiking it in the dirt. You get used to seeing so many fastballs from Hughes. You kind of gear up for it, and he throws his breaking ball hard in that situation, out of the hand, looking like the fastball. As you pull the trigger, the hitter, it's a little too late to hold the bat head back.
Trumbo flied out to right field his first time up. Mark Trumbo now with a 4 for 9 in the series, as the Orioles try and get at least 1 across the plate here in the 4th inning. Reimold with the leadoff double, now at 3rd. Manny Machado, the base hit at first. Pretty good lead over there at first base. Hughes hasn't walked anybody. He has struck out 3. Hughes also had runners run on him. 7 out of 9 successful last year against Philip Hughes. And not on the same page, John Ryan Murphy, so he'll go out. Plouffe wants to know what they're going to throw here, so he comes in.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of a discussion with that hole. Murphy appeared to point over towards the hole with Manny Machado on first base. Mauer's got a cover, and then I think Hughes wants to attack that outer 3rd, but maybe Murphy not willing to take the chance on him shooting that hole over there on the right side.
Pitch to your D is the usual rule, but that may not be the way you want to pitch to that particular hitter. As he goes away, and a strike called on the outside corner.
Nasty breaking ball there. Take a look at Mark Trumbo's power zone, filling up all the 3rds of the plate. Of course, middle is danger, but great plate coverage. He can get you inside. He can get you at the top of the zone as well. Wait till Trumbo starts squaring up some baseballs, because he can hit them about as far as anybody in the game today.
0-1 count to the 30-year-old right fielder, and a towering pop-up off the fist. Not deep. Rosario. And he's got it. And it was shallow enough to hold everybody. Reimold could not tag up and go, and Machado goes back to first base. So there are a couple of big outs to Davis and Trumbo.
Yeah, I think the fact that Phil Hughes is starting to mix in a few more breaking balls, it's getting the Orioles hitters off the fastball. So a veteran pitcher starting to recognize that, mix in some spin balls, and yeah, you're seeing not as good a contact, especially here with runners in scoring position.
So now the Orioles need the 2-out hit. A leadoff double by Reimold, followed by a single Machado, 1st and 3rd. Davis a strikeout, Trumbo the flyout, and now Hardy, who was robbed of a base hit on a fine play made by Dozier. 2 down. Machado fakes the go, and the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. The all-important 2-out RBIs when you can get them. The Orioles have been pretty good at that during the Showalter years, coming up with key hits.
Well, I don't want to let this opportunity get away from them. That leadoff double by Reinhold and then the Machado single. And now all of a sudden 2 outs and nothing on the board. We'll try to get a big hit here.
1-0 count. And a step off Machado back. Hughes, a pretty high number last year. Runners in scoring position against him was 296. That's a good 50 points higher than the average with runners in scoring position for ball clubs. 1-0, and this time a timeout. Stepping out Hardy. Murphy and Hughes, the battery, have had a couple of problems here in the inning trying to get on the same page as to what they want to throw or where they want to throw it.
Sometimes it takes a little while. You know, Murphy, you mentioned, just coming over from the Yankees, so basically just had spring training. And catchers, it isn't until the final 2 weeks that they get to really start working with their frontline pitchers.
That one handcuffed him. Runner can't go. Wasn't sure where it was, and the problems between pitcher and catcher continue here. Runners have to stay. You saw Hughes come off the mound in a hurry to help Murphy find it. Now he wants to talk to him.
Murphy taking it off the top of the glove and then catches the shin pad as it drops in front of him. But yeah, a lot of long conversations between Hughes and Murphy here in this inning.
2-0 count, 2 down. Will the problems make him reluctant to throw anything other than fastball, which is what he throws anyway? But here's the 2-0 pitch. Hardy waiting for it. Oh, what a scoop! Force at second as Plouffe came up with it and gets it to Dozier as that ball was stung. No runs on a couple of hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Find D to help Hughes out of a tough spot. Twins lead it. Of this series, Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick with you for the game. We were talking about living in Maine and Sunday drives. Wasn't it a magnificent thing?
Yeah, sure was.
I'm not sure that happens around the country. In Maine, when you had Sunday afternoons, you had the big meal around noontime, and then you took off and you just drove.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of country in Maine that
there is.
You know, they still say there's some woods in Maine that people haven't been to
or come out of.
When I was a kid, I tried to look for them.
All right, what do you think of Jimenez in the start here?
Well, a little inconsistent, but you know, he's keeping his team in the ball game. I think throwing a few more pitches than he'd hope, and Buck Showalter as well. But I like the way the ball's moving around. I'm not worried about Ubaldo this year. I think he's going to settle in and have a very strong season. I love the veteran rotation. I think Ubaldo and Gallardo are going to kind of feed off each other, and Tillman as well. They're just going to, you know, like Buck says, pass the baton, and hopefully as a group they kind of get things rolling in the right direction.
Gets the first out in a hurry off Dozier. Is 0 for 3 in the game, 0 for 10 in the series now. Santana with a couple of singles, showing his speed on a beautiful drag bunt hit in the first inning. Manny Machado is in at third base, and Davis is in a couple of steps at first. Pitch taken up and away. 2-7-0 for the Twins, 0-3-1 for the Orioles. The error resulting in 1 unearned run of the 2 that Minnesota has put up. Jimenez, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Hughes on the other side, no walks and 3 strikeouts. So the hitters are getting pitches to hit in this ball game, but both have held the opponents down pretty well.
Yeah, well, I've been impressed with both pitchers. You know, I think the Orioles, knowing that Phil Hughes is really going to challenge, you know, the offense and attack them, but he's starting to mix in the breaking balls, and we saw he gets into a little bit of trouble, and different type of pitcher comes in there, and he was able to get out of a big jam last inning.
Santana waiting on it. He'll foul that one off the other way. So the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Orioles looking for the sweep. First one since 2012 here in Baltimore against the Twins, if they can get it. Well, the Twins look to avoid another year, starting the season 0-3. That pitch on the inside corner, and a good one. It backed him away, but it was there. Jimenez gets his 5th.
This is the kind of movement that Ubaldo gets on his 2-seam fastball. Look at this. Starts it at the front hip, actually moving Santana back off the plate. Watch his feet get off the ground. Oh no, look out. Boom. Great late life. Catching the inside corner all over the plate. Beautiful pitch to pick up the 2nd out.
And that will bring up Mauer. He delivered a home run first inning, first of the year. He's also picked up a single. So he's now 4 for 9. Ground ball towards the hole. Davis moves over. Jimenez covers, and the out is recorded. Good inning. Jimenez gets it done in a hurry. He retires the side in order. First time he's done that in the ball game. 2-0 Twins. Sarasota, Florida, spring home of the Orioles, a destination for culinary adventure as well. Fresh local seafood to eclectic array of world-class cuisine. You can savor the flavors. Sarasota Restaurant Week, June 1 through 14. SavorSarasota.com. It's Main Street downtown in that old Florida town, which is such a great city and a great home for the O's. Jimenez with a quick 8-pitch inning. Getting out of that last one, 1-2-3. Hughes goes to work here. Alvarez. Pedro Alvarez called out on strikes his first time up. Didn't go after the first pitch there. He hit 378 when he swung at the first pitch of an at bat last year. 0-1 delivery to him by Hughes. And that's going to miss inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scope and Joseph to follow in the 5th.
Yeah, you wonder, Alvarez now, of course, came up with Pittsburgh and started his career as a third baseman. Ended up winning a home run title in the National League. Last year moved to first base, and now here he is with the Orioles. A lot of DHing is going to affect him.
Down the line, Plouffe going into foul territory. Gets it lined up. 1 down in the 5th inning. Take a look at our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
Well, the 2016 Delmarva, it's low-way starting rotation. They open up tonight against Hagerstown. Actually 4-0 lead right now in the bottom of the 9th inning. Lucas Long had the start. 6 strong innings with 4 punch-outs, scattering the 3 hits. But Brian Gonzalez, Corey Jones, Christian Alvarado, he's 21 years old, led the Orioles minor leaguers in ERA with that 1.83 last year. And Peralta will round out the starting rotation. Good luck to the Delmarva Shorebirds this season.
Indeed. Minor league action getting underway. And a strike taken on the outside corner. Jonathan Scope. Hughes has had real good success in pinpointing that pitch down and away to the right-handers on that outside corner. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Scope will take that one. That one's a little bit away. Jonathan grounded out his first time up, back to the mound. We've seen Hughes field his position very well. He lands well balanced, ready to field as a pitcher. Pretty well square up actually on his follow through. 1-1 delivery, put up in the air to center field. Buxton going back. Buxton warning track at the wall, and he's got it. Perfectly timed and made that one look pretty easy. It was tagged by Scope.
Yeah, it was. Jonathan Scope got into this breaking ball. I don't know if there's going to be a field big enough that Buxton can't run one down, but it's a pretty good read on that. And just the hang time, cool air. Ball kind of dying out there in center field gives Buxton an opportunity. Hughes likes it. He knows that maybe a month or 2 here at Camden Yards, no chance that ball gets caught.
Probably denied him a home run on that catch. It looked like it was going to go over. A couple of quick outs here. Caleb Joseph. That's why Buxton, he plays one of the shallowest center fields I think we're going to see in the American League. He's in, but you can see why he's so capable of going back on balls with that great speed. Feels confident. 0-1 delivery to Joseph. Will miss outside. Caleb flied out to right field, his first time up. Want to welcome all of you on our Armed Forces Network. Enjoying the ball game. Always great to have you on board. One of the jobs I've never held and longed for was to work for AFN. I wanted to be in Berlin, broadcasting news and sports in Europe for the Armed Forces Network.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always loved the Armed Forces Network. Guys do great work, like those on the print side, Stars and Stripes. That one the other way, foul. He was late on the fastball, and the count even up. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Caleb.
And Caleb Joseph, a very solid spring training, of course, emerging as a frontline catcher with Matt Wieters going down last couple of seasons for the Orioles, stepping up. Many teams thought Caleb was the MVP the year they walked away with the division for how well he played behind the plate. So Caleb to be a mainstay right now. He's done a nice job preparing himself once again. Had a good spring training. He's comfortable with the rotation now. Very knowledgeable player, and he put his time in. He's a guy that grinded through the minor leagues and is taking advantage of every opportunity he gets here at the major league level.
A little harder on that one at 87 down and away. Retires the side in order again. Hughes in charge right now in a 2-0 ball game. by Ocean City, Maryland. Let us show you a good time in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by American Standard Heating and Air. It's their all-star sales event with up to $1,100 in instant rebates or 0% APR for 36 months. Gary Thorne and Mike Boydick, Oriole Park at Camden Yards, where the Orioles open. 2 wins against the Twins, trailing in this one 2-0. Jimenez, no walks and 5 strikeouts through 5. Pitch high in the air. Miguel Sano to center. Record is there, and we'll put it away. Sano retired on 1 pitch. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Talked about pitches thrown in a ball game for Jimenez now. He's retired 9 out of the last 10. He is averaging 15.4 pitches per inning. Philip Hughes is right where he was last year. He is averaging 13.2 pitches per inning tonight. He was 3.5 all of last year, so he's right on the number. And that's a good number for Ubaldo. I mean, if you can get 15 pitches per inning, you're in good shape.
Oh, it sure is. And it looks like Ubaldo is just getting better and better as this game progresses. More comfortable with his secondary pitches. Started Sano off with the breaking ball. And then Plouffe getting ahead with off-speed pitches as well. And of course has the fastball in the back pocket anytime he wants it.
Plouffe has popped out, hit into the big double play. Over the top on that one at 84 miles an hour. That's 6 strikeouts.
Not wasting any time. 3 pitches, and look at this split finger dance. 84 miles an hour. There's the grip. Hanging up over the strike zone, then dipping down and in to get Plouffe.
Strikeout high last year was 9 against Toronto for Jimenez. He's had as many as 13. His career high. Has done it twice, and one of those times was against Minnesota back in September of 2013. Eddie Rosario has struck out and grounded out. 2 down, nobody on, 6th inning. Rosario takes it. Laid in there for a strike at 80 miles an hour. Both these pitchers now getting ahead of hitters. Jimenez 14 out of 21 first pitch strikes. Hughes 13 out of 18. It's going to miss down low, and Rosario works it to a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Ubaldo Jimenez has thrown so many pitches with this delivery. You know, I think it's about time that he's not going to. This is what you're going to get. This is Ubaldo Jimenez delivery. You know, get the most out of it where you can, and I think it's going to help him just to not think about mechanics, just relax, go out there, trust his stuff, attack the strike zone. And good things will happen. I think a number of years with the loss of velocity from Jimenez, because back in like 2010, as you take a look at his delivery, very clean and balanced on the end. Yeah, he's long on the backside, and sometimes he might be a little quick, you know, and it takes the arm a little longer to get to the top, which can lead to inconsistencies. But he's done it so long, he's repeated it so many times that you trust the fact that, okay, Ubaldo, you know what you're doing now. You've been in the big leagues so long. You've had great success. You've had the failures. You know, go out there and lead by example. How do you get out of jams? How do you come up with the big pitch when you need it? Well, he's showing that here in this game, and he's just getting better and better as he progresses.
3-2 is going to be fouled back, recognizing some of the great pitchers out of the Dominican, and there have been a lot of them for Ubaldo Jimenez. He is among that group. He's the 11th Dominican Republic-born pitcher to have 250 career starts. Logging him on. 3-2 delivery is fouled back. Rosario in a battle here, which will be at least 8 pitches long. Orioles get back into division play as Tampa Bay will be in town tomorrow night. 3-game series starts. Chris Tillman with that just 2 innings worth of work in the starter because of weather will go again on 3 days rest, and Chris Archer, who lost his first start, scheduled for the Rays. Manny Machado and no play.
All right, Caleb and Ubaldo are on the same page right now. I mean, Caleb, you can see his mind working back there, trying to figure out the pitches, but it isn't too hard because Ubaldo's got command of everything right now. So a 3-2 split finger, no surprise I mean, Ubaldo's feeling confident, he starts hitters off early with the breaking ball. You know, just the ability to throw anything at any time is going to lead to more success for Ubaldo.
3-2, 2 down. Rosario in a good battle here after striking out, grounding out first 2 at bats. Escobar is hoping for an at bat here in the inning. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he got him. Went upstairs, and that's 6 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts, 2 in the inning, and a 1-2-3 inning again. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. Orioles need a little offense, trailing here 2-0. First Lady of the state of Maryland, Yumi Hogan, and the first Korean-born First Lady in Maryland had a chance to meet the 2 players from South Korea, which is where she is from, as she met the Orioles, Young-Soo Kim and Byung-Ho Park, who plays for the Minnesota Twins. Both on hand, exchanged pictures, and a little bit about adjusting to life here in the States. That's really nice.
It sure is. Small world, isn't it? Everybody meeting up here at Camden Yard.
So a good ball game as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Orioles at the top of the order. Record is grounded out and flied out. Used no walks, 4 strikeouts. We've not had a walk in this game by either pitcher.
Yeah.
Foul back and upstairs.
Pretty amazing. You don't expect it really from Hughes. I think to some degree you kind of expect it from Ubaldo, but you know, he's shown great consistency. We saw that first half of last season, what he's capable of doing, and nice to see him start this way for the O's.
0-2 delivery, and record goes the other way down the line. Santana going over. Santana reaching, can't get it. Foul ball. Just missed a 3-bagger on that one, but it was the right side of the chalk, which was the wrong side for the Orioles.
Pretty good effort here by Santana. That great closing speed, and he wasn't going to give up on that baseball. Until the wall getting a little bit closer, though. Look, it almost came through another big base hit to right field.
So Joey Record back with a 0-2 count. 4 hits, 9 at bats so far. Opened his major league career. 0-2 delivery to him away. Brian Mattis, the left-hander, scheduled to rejoin the Orioles on Sunday. Worked an inning in Bowie, a walk, 2 strikeouts, gave up 1 run on a home run. An inning worked in Bowie for Brian Mattis.
Well, he's working. That's the most important thing.
Yep.
Get the pitch count going, get your strength back, your endurance.
1-2 delivery, and that one's going to be fouled away. Both these pitchers mowing down hitters. Orioles last 6 in a row have been retired. Jimenez, 1-2-3 inning in both the 5th and 6th. He's retired 8 in a row. 1-2 count. Fans trying to rev it up for the offense here at Camden Yards. One-two delivery in the air to left. Rosario. And one away. All kids 14 and under can join the Junior Orioles Dugout Club. Enjoy a whole new lineup of excitement. You can choose from one of 2 6-game packages. Exclusive benefits like game tickets, the club hat, sunglasses, messenger bag, and more. Friends and family can get tickets to dugout games for as little as $6. Options for lower level seating also. Just go to Orioles.com/dugout club. Hitter for the Orioles up at the plate has been Reimold tonight, a single and a double so far in the ball game. Orioles have only 3 hits. He's got 2 of them. The other a single by Manny Machado. The Orioles' best scoring chance in that 4th inning. Reimold led it off with a double. Machado got the single, but the Orioles could not get a run in. Reimold asking for the timeout.
And Nolan can get into some nice grooves. Mentioned the 3 home runs that last week of spring training, and here picking up a couple hits in his first game of the season makes him feel pretty good. So he lets it fly right there, just missing, fouling it straight back. So more comfortable you feel in the box, the more aggressive you can be, and especially with Hughes so aggressive in the strike zone.
0-2 delivery on the way. Hughes here in Baltimore has had 8 starts. His record here is 3-2 with a 4.60 ERA. He's had pretty good success here for a fly ball pitcher in a ballpark that gives up the home runs, especially as the season warms up. 1-2 pitch is up in a little bit. 2-2 count. Dylan Bundy got up a couple of times last night but did not get into the ball game, throwing in the bullpen. 2-2 count. Outfield shaded to right. Pitch is going to miss inside. A good eye by Reimold, and the count goes to 3-2.
Boy, I'm telling you, this series, it seems like every Orioles hitter has worked the count to full at one point or another. Nolan's had some good at bats. Rickards made him work at the top of the lineup as well.
And the 3-2 delivery will go to short. Soft liner handled by Escobar, and 2 down in the 6th inning. This week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. Manny Machado, a base hit. He has also been called out on strikes. The Orioles have stranded 3, only 1 in scoring position. The only runner they have gotten to third base in that 4th inning was Reimold. In the air to left field. Pretty good wood. Rosario going back. Rosario at the wall. And goodbye, home run. And the Orioles are on the board. Manny Machado delivers the long ball and makes it a 2-1 ball game.
You like to see that, and you know this Orioles offense is going to keep pushing all the way through. They are never out of a ball game. Power all the way through the lineup. Machado able to pick up his first of 2016.
Those are the home runs we talked about that Hughes gave up last season. The Orioles make it a 2-1 ball game on their 4th hit of the game. And now loving to tie it up. Davis at the plate.
Take a look at Manny's swing. Murphy wanting the pitch down and away. This fastball leaking in off the plate. But look at Machado's hands. They never leave his body. Stay close. Bat head to the ball. Great power there.
That one is going to miss inside. Manny now has 2 lifetime home runs against Hughes. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game tonight, so he's 10 for 19 lifetime against Hughes with 2 home runs. Chris Davis has flied out, struck out. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him. Chris in the air, right center field. Going back is Buxton. He's got room and he'll put it away. Orioles pick up a run on a hit, no errors. Nobody left on base, but they have made it a 1-run ball game as Manny Machado gets all of it. 2-1 Twins.
Geico highlights final game of the 3-game set against the Twins, and Mauer able to get the Twins on the board first. They've had some problems scoring runs, but a solo shot, elevated fastball, one of the rare mistakes in this ball game by Jimenez. And then the Orioles threatening, but a hot shot by Hardy. Plouffe able to snag it. Think another one's going to go, but no. Camden Yards holds a Jonathan Scope blast, but Manny Machado finally able to get to Hughes. Pulling the hands in tight. Remember, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Eduardo Escobar, as we go to the 7th inning, Escobar with a double and a single. Murphy and Buxton to follow against Jimenez. Jimenez, the first 3 innings, 6 hits, only 1 sense. That is fouled off. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Has turned into a real pitcher's duel. Orioles still have the bullpen ready. If Jimenez gets into any trouble here, the Orioles now back into a 1-run ball game. 1 ball, 2-strike delivery, and that's going to miss inside. These have been very tight games, obviously, with the 3-2 win. 2 out, 9th inning, Wieters hit. The Orioles winning the first one, then a 4-2 victory in the ball game last night. Good ball games. 2-2. Had him fooled in the off-speed delivery somehow, though he fouled it off.
Yeah, nice job battling there, falling behind. Great breaking ball with a real good finish from Ubaldo here as the pitch count nearing 100, but still strong right now, looking good.
2-2. And another foul ball as Escobar battles Ymir. Escobar now has picked up 3 hits in 4 at-bats, and the only times he has faced the Orioles' 32-year-old right-hander. He's worked at a real good clip tonight, too, and he gets another strikeout. 8 strikeouts for Jimenez, 3 in a row.
Well, they've gone to the high fastball a couple times. See Caleb Joseph wanting it up there. And here we go once again on the same page, executing perfectly, coming away with a big first out after a very tough at bat from Escobar.
Well, Escobar back to the pine. Murphy has reached on an error and he's grounded out. Unearned run scored in that 2nd inning. Escobar singled. And a ball got by Chris Davis on a tough play at first base. He was charged with an error. Buxton would drive in a run on a ground ball later. Mauer had the home run in the first. That ball down the line in left field will stay fair. It'll be chased down by Reimold into foul territory. Murphy on his way to second base will have a 1-out double. And obviously any runs here are going to be big. Let's take a look at our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers.
Yeah, Orioles looking for the third win to start the season, because in 3-0 starts since 1986, well, back in 96, they got the wild card, ended up losing in the ALCS in 97. Actually walked away with it wire to wire, winning the division. Didn't make it in 2011, but 2012 got the wild card spot as well when they won the first 3 games.
And the pitch on the inside corner to Buxton, who is grounded out and struck out. So the Twins, they've had more opportunities than the Orioles. 100th pitch thrown. They are 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. That one to left field. Reimold. Runner will go back to the bag. Buxton retired. 2 down.
The ball, though, is looking so good. I mean, everything he's flipping up there has quality to it. Real good pitches. A lot of these hitters off balance and kind of guessing. And some of them appear to want to get the at-bats over with before Ubaldo can get to the nasty stuff in the end.
A lot of quick outs. 2 away, 7th inning. Murphy on at second. Mike Showalter's got to be very happy about this performance by Jimenez so far. Here's Dozier, 0 for 3, 0 for 10 in the 3 games. Dozier, who carries a .257 lifetime average against the Orioles, has Murphy at second. 1-0 delivery on the way. Breaking ball that's in there. That tied him up. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Very little breeze blowing at the ballpark right now. That's going to be a bit low. 2-1.
Good try, though. You love when you're watching catchers and they give that acknowledgement, that well executed pitch. They'll point the catcher's mitt out at the pitcher. Well, yeah, it wasn't a strike, but that's right where Caleb wanted it.
Down to third and foul.
And backs it up with a quality pitch there to get back into the count now.
Something that the John Russell bench coach, former catcher, Dave Wallace pitching coach, Tom Cheedy bullpen and assistant pitching coach are doing. Now you see John get these catchers to get that target down. Keep it down. Get the pitchers to throw down in the strike zone. Fouled off somehow. I don't know how he got it. That'll obviously always do you well. If you can get that ball down, you're going to get more ground balls, fewer home runs surrendered. Better target for them if the catchers can do that, and just even if it's out of the strike zone on the target, get it down there.
Yeah.
And they have worked on that. Both Matt Wieters and Caleb Joseph. And he got him. Wow. 2 more strikeouts in the inning. That's 9 Ks. That matches a 2015 season high. And he got him. Runner left on at second. 7th inning stretch time at Camden Yards. There goes another one. Well, last year, 4909, the number of home runs hit. That was 1 per every 33.7 at bats, the most since 2012. This year, it's up early. 29.87 at bats. That would be the most home runs in the last 16 years. And the Rays, they have hit home runs in 18 consecutive. It's the longest streak in team history, and since 2013 when the Mariners hit in 23 straight. That is not a club that I would have picked if you said, all right, who's got the consecutive home run game streak going right now? Wouldn't have been the Rays.
No, it wouldn't have been. And because they spent the whole offseason trying to get more power, kind of bolster that offense.
They'll be in town tomorrow night. Take on the Orioles. Bottom half of the 7th inning. A ball to Jimenez. Night is done, and a good one. 2 runs, 1 earned, 8 hits, 7 innings. No walks, and struck out 9.
Boy, incredible effort right there by Ubaldo. Stepping up, big time start.
Mark Trumbo fouls it back. Trumbo has flied out twice. Last year, Jimenez had 5 games in which he did not walk anybody, and he starts this season out with a 0 in that base on ball column. Philip Hughes hasn't walked anybody. He struck out 4. These two really joined in a great pitching matchup. 2-1 delivery on the way, and a little late. Foul back. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Mark.
Yeah, it's been impressive watching Hughes and Jimenez go at it here. It's fun to see quality pitching matchups at times.
2 ball, 2 strike count. The infield straight away on Trumbo. He hits it into left field for a base hit. And the Orioles get the leadoff man on in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And the potential go-ahead coming at the plate. Create new Birdland memories by hosting your next group outing this summer at Orioles Park. Discounted ticket prices. Groups as small as 15. Facilities for up to 1,000. Great place for your group to enjoy a ball game and a great day. And you can find out more at Orioles.com/groups or 888-848-BIRD. So our light rain beginning to fall. Hardy is grounded out, hit into a fielder's choice. Rained off and on most of the day, and then we had some blue sky at game time. Hardy will take the pitch down low for a ball. JJ now with a 1 for 8 to start the season. Orioles looking to garner a lead here in the 7th inning after that leadoff base hit. Only the 2nd time in 7 the Orioles have the leadoff man on base. 1-0 delivery. Hardy will take it. It'll miss. One of the few 2-0 counts we've had from Hughes. Trevor May in the bullpen.
You know, even though Hughes all around the dish and you know about his history, Orioles still showing great patience. So you know, here Hardy getting to a very good hitter's count late in the ball game.
2-0. Hardy will take it, and it will be there for a strike. The 2-1 on Hardy. Obviously going to try and play through this moisture and hope that it is only a quickly passing shower, but it's coming down. 2-1. Trumbo short lead at first, held by Mauer. 2-1 pitch on the way to Hardy. Got it up in the air out in front of it. Foul ball down the line and left, and a 2 ball 2 strike count.
Boy, you try and fight to wait on that pitch. He's been flipping in those breaking balls more consistently than the past few innings. Just 76 miles an hour. He kind of utilizes his curve like his changeup, and JJ Hardy just out in front, couldn't hold back. A split second longer, he might square that one up.
Philip Hughes with a 2-2. Hardy takes down low at 85 miles an hour, so the count goes full. 3 ball 2 strike count. Trumbo not a speedy runner. talking at first with Wayne Kirby to make sure he's got the sign from Bobby Dickerson at third on whether or not they want him going here or not. Three-two, runner goes, and it's going to be a base hit into left field. Making the turn, heading to third, Trumbo. Here's the throw, not in time. So sending the runner, picks up an extra base for the Orioles.
Oh, nice aggressive baseball right there from the Orioles. Nice call by Buck Showalter, getting Trumbo in motion. With a 3-2 count, he gets a good jump, and Hardy with a great at-bat. Whistles one out to Rosario, and he one-hops it, taking a shot at Trumbo, but great base running once again. Trumbo on the move, able to get in there easily.
And it is pouring. Fans rushing to get under cover. Paul Molitor is on his way out. What a shame, and a real good ball game here, and they're going to delay the game. Paul never got out to the mound. He's going over to the third base umpire, Mark Wagner.
Nicole's saying, no, wait. It's just going to go. It's going to pass right through.
Nicole McFadden, the Orioles' tremendous grounds keeper in charge here, who watches that weather on radar. Her crew was not out by the tarp, so they're just getting out there now. They were not going to. They were not expecting to put the tarp out. And the hope is this is going to be very quick. In fact, it's let up significantly in the last 10 seconds.
Yes, it has.
So we'll get a delay here in the 7th inning with Trumbo on at third, Hardy on at first. Orioles down. Philip Hughes will go over to sit. The Twins have the 2-1 lead for the moment, but the Orioles are threatening to tie or to do better.
Almost over. The Twins leading the Orioles by a score of 2-1. Joe Mauer solo home run, Byron Buxton RBI ground out, and Manny Machado a home run. Let's go back upstairs now. Play about ready to resume, and more from Gary Thorne and Mike Borden.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. And Trevor May is going to come out of the bullpen, so Philip Hughes responsible for 2 on out of the ball game.
Trevor May, take a look at his pitch arsenal. The fastball 61% of the time. Big arm, 94 to 98 with the heater. He has a curveball and a slider, changeup to go along with it. A pretty dominant arm out of this Twins bullpen.
Boy, what a chance for the Orioles. First and third, nobody out, trailing by 1. Alvarez will take the pitch down low for a ball. Alvarez has had just 1 chance with a runner in scoring position on the season. He is 0 for 1. What an opportunity, though, to get his first hit as an Oriole. He struck out and popped out in the ball game. So he is 0 for 7 on the season. But a hit here and the Orioles get it tied up or better. Single by Trumbo to start the inning. Single by Hardy. He's at first and third with nobody out. And that one all the way to the backstop. Runner is coming, and this game is tied. A wild pitch. And Trumbo scores, and the Orioles have tied it up.
Just like that. See the frustration on May's face. He yanks that fastball. And some frustration right now here. Almost hitting Alvarez. Alvarez jackknifing out of the way. And Murphy setting up on the outside corner. Misses his spot by about 4 feet. Murphy can't even get leather on it. Tying run. And Trumbo crossing the plate.
Not sure we're all going to gather around the mound here. Paul Molitor is coming out. Maybe that he slipped. Maybe that's the frustration. No drying agent had been put on the mound, and he may have been upset saying that he slipped during the delivery, which caused the wild pitch that tied the game up. Don't know, just guessing, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah, seems like it. And well, I don't know why he would deliver a pitch if he wasn't comfortable on the mound. See, he just yanked that fastball.
They were really in a hurry, they being the Twins. As soon as that tarp was taken out, now this is getaway day, they're out of here after the ball game, but they were really quick to get out in the field, get warmed up, and start playing again. I mean, that's fine, but maybe a little too quick.
Yeah, a little over anxious right here. Tough situation as well for May to come in with runners at first and third, and gets on the mound and says, all right, let's go. Really didn't inspect the mound well enough with a diamond dried agent on there. Feels a little bit
He
better.
did warm up on the mound, though.
Yeah, sure.
So he had a chance to know. I mean, he came out of the bullpen, came on the mound, and warmed up on the mound to get ready to pitch. Whatever, the run's in. It's a 2-2 ball game.
Yeah, and Hardy advancing to second base on that wild pitch, so finding himself in scoring position.
These 2 runners, the responsibility to use. So Alvarez now with a chance to give the Orioles the lead. Orioles 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. And a heater. He read back to 93 on that one. And Alvarez going after it up high. Alvarez's job now to get that runner to third base. With nobody out, give the Orioles a chance to get Hardy in either now or the next batter, Jonathan Scope. Here's the 2-1 delivery by May, and he throttled back from 92 to 84.
Boy, impressive changeup right there off the power fastball. There's May pitched a couple innings opening day and walked away with 4 strikeouts.
Big at bat right here. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Not a big lead at second for Hardy. Pedro Alvarez the other way foul. That opening day appearance, as Mike said, 2 innings, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts. He had a wild pitch in that game. So he's thrown 2 wild pitches in the 2 appearances he's made. The Orioles, home run by Manny Machado, came in the 6th inning to get them on the board, their first run, and now the one here in a wild pitch. 2-2 delivery on the way. Alvarez off the fist. Twins got their runs on a Mauer home run in the first and a ground ball out by Buxton in the second. And then Ubaldo Jimenez went to work and shut him down. So Paul Molitor's ball club again has seen the Orioles come back against them and get this ball game tied. The Orioles trying to sweep this 3-game set. Here's the 2-2 again and got him at 85. So he really mixed up the velocities on that at bat.
Well, that is a real good changeup off that fastball. And probably not the best location there up in the zone, but really a great sell with the arm speed. And you saw the late movement as it fades away from Alvarez.
So Hardy remains at second base with 1 down. Jonathan Schoop will get the RBI chance. He has grounded out and flied out 2 for 9 in the series. May's delivery is a heater up at 94. Schoop trying to jump on it, but out of his reach.
Yeah, Jonathan Schoop getting a little bit outside himself. Now, great power, obviously, from Jonathan Schoop, but doesn't have to try that hard. He wanted to get a 2-run shot on that swing.
1 for 4, lifetime off May for the Orioles second baseman. 0-1 delivery. 94 again. Gets it by him and an 0-2 count. So Trevor May comes out of the bullpen dealing.
Yeah, big time arm. There was some talk about maybe him finding himself in the rotation, so he got stretched out a little bit in spring training, but his stuff plays up much better in this bullpen.
26-year-old right-hander. 0-2 delivery on the way to Schoop. Ground ball to the middle, and he's got a base hit. J.J. Hardy will make the turn. Up with it is Buxton. No throw, and the Orioles have a 3-2 lead as Jonathan Schoop picks up the RBI.
Some excitement in Camden Yards as the Orioles take the lead, battling back, but mistake pitch here from May. Murphy wants it up in the zone. If Jonathan Schoop swung through a couple high fastballs, but down in the zone, he just drops the head on it. Buxton closing in, Dickerson's arm going. Fortunately, Buxton with the bobble. He tries to make the transfer, and the Orioles take the lead.
Still only 1 away, and the pitch on the inside corner to Caleb Joseph. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He has flied out and struck out. The runs are charged to Philip Hughes. Dylan Bundy will be coming on to pitch for Ubaldo Jimenez, who is the pitcher of record for the Orioles. These runs benefit him and a chance to win the ball game. 0-1 delivery to Joseph, and that'll be outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Orioles battling back again here in this series. They were able to get the lead and maintain it in the second game of this series last night. First game, though, they had to come back with 2 in the 5th and that 2-out game-winning run in the 9th. Throw over, lob toss, Mauer down to get it, and Jonathan Schoop back to the bag. And with Joseph checking with Bobby Dickerson at third base to see whether or not Schoop might be on the move here.
Good hit and run candidate for sure.
1 ball, 1 strike, runner not going. Joseph swings through it up to 93 by May, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Caleb trying to stay short on this power fastball. Once again, the elevated fastball really tough to get to. He's blowing it by the hitters down in the zone, giving the hitters a better chance.
1-2. That'll be outside. Nice play made. Murphy scooping that one up to hold the runner. May last year did not make the opening day roster. He got sent down, but because of an injury to Ricky Nolesko, he ended up coming right back in the second week of the season. Ended up in 48 games for Paul Molitor's team. Went 8-9. He had 16 starts of the 48 appearances. ERA of 4.0 last year. 2-2 delivery on the way. The other way, line 1, and there's 2. right into the glove of Mauer, who steps on the bag. But the Orioles have a big inning. They pick up a couple of runs. They do it on 3 hits, nobody left on, and they've got the lead 3-2. Partner, you look at the stat for locations. Visit whywaitintheer.com.
The mighty bullpen. Oh yeah, it's been here the last 4 seasons for the Orioles, and here in the first 2 games of the season, 9 relief appearances, 11 innings pitched from this bullpen, 192 pitches thrown, but a 2.45 earned run average. Yeah, they've been called on, and once again they have risen to the occasion. Brock, Givens, O'Day, Britt, and Tyler Wilson out there all slamming the door, and here looking for their sweep as Dylan Bundy enters the game. Take a look at his pitch arsenal now. These numbers back from 2012, where he had an opportunity to show what he had. Good spring training numbers, 9 games, 3.65 earned run average. Power fastball from Dylan Bundy, and in the mid-90s in spring training. A good breaking ball and change to go along with it.
Santana will take the pitch away for a ball, and this is Dylan Bundy's first appearance since September 25 of 2012 at the major league level. 23-year-old who was the first-round pick for the Orioles in 2011, number 4 overall. Much discussed, but with injuries they have kept him out. Did not play at all. 2013. Very limited number of games, 6 in 2012. Playing it, Manny Machado, he was in, makes the throw. Santana's retired, 1 away in the 8th inning. Follow Orioles baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Up to the moment, any moment, game day, live game, video highlights, StatCast news, and more. You can download MLB.com at Bat #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. So Dylan Bundy on to try and preserve the lead in a setup role, one would expect here. And Joe Mauer at the plate. Mauer's home run came in the first inning. He's singled, 2 for 3 in the ball game, 4 for 10 in the series, and the pitch will be taken down low for a ball.
Well, Dylan Bundy, he had a couple outings where he pitched 2 innings in spring training, and ideally they'd like to continue to stretch Dylan out if he continues to feel good and throw the ball well.
In the air, left field, going back is Reimold at the wall, and he's got it. Mauer bidding for his second long ball of the game, denied, and there are 2 down. Join us again tomorrow. The Orioles are going to welcome the Rays to town back into division play. Chris Tillman will be on the mound against Chris Archer. Our coverage on MASN, 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Southwest, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Yeah, take a look at tomorrow's starters. Chris Archer, the Tampa Rays ace, came away with a loss against the Blue Jays, but 12 punch outs in that ball game. Of course, Chris Tillman, can't wait to see him get extended. He had 2 of the best innings we've seen him have over the past few seasons. I mean, he was dominant.
2 down here in the 8th inning. Tillman on the left sitting there. Miguel Sano a single. He is struck out, flied out. Dylan Bundy's major league experience coming into this game. 1 2/3 innings. 1 hit. 1 walk. That's it. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Sano will take the pitch up. Count goes to 2-1. 3-7-1 for the Orioles. 2-8-0 for the Twins. Twins have left 5. The Orioles 3. One of the Twins runs unearned. 2-1 delivery. That's going to be down low. So falls behind on the power hitting Sano with another power hitter, Plouffe, on deck.
Dylan Bundy, and talk about some deception. Real interesting delivery.
That one rocketed into left field. Raimo going over will cut it off. Makes the nice stop and holds him to a single. So Sano is on with his second hit. 2 for 4 ball game for the DH.
And Dylan kind of has that arm stab in the back, much like Ubaldo Jimenez, drop and drive. And then he just kind of glides down the mound, and that arm explodes when it gets to the top. And there you see how dangerous Sano is. A real good fastball down in the zone. Very good low ball hitter.
Nunez will come on as the pinch runner for Sano, representing the potential tying run in the ball game. So Eduardo Nunez put some speed out there, even more so than Sano. And here is Trevor Plouffe, 0 for 3 in the game, 2 for 11 in the series with a home run. And then they will hold Nunez tight. Obviously Nunez has got some speed. Would you send him in a situation like this? 2 down.
Take some chances on the road. They're certainly going to be getting the times on Dylan Bundy and see if he has any tells out there on the mound so they can get a good jump.
Joseph has thrown out 1, had 1 steal against him in the game, both those involving Danny Santana. Runner goes. Joseph up. Throw right there. He got him. Caleb Joseph comes through again. That is right on the money. In fact, Jonathan Scope had to wait for the runner to get there. Look at the perfect throw by Joseph. Big out. Ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the 8th with the Orioles on top by 1. In the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
So a wild pitch from May, and Trumbo scores, and then Scope steps up with Hardy on second base. 2 strikes on him, another 2-strike RBI. Oh yeah, and the Orioles take the lead. A nice approach there with 2 strikes by Jonathan Scope.
So Trevor May will stay on the mound. Dylan Bundy, with help from his battery mate Caleb Joseph, getting out of that 8th inning on a beautiful throw to get Nunez. The Orioles bat trying to add to their 1-run lead. Joey Rickard, top of the order, 0 for 3 in the ball game. Reimold and then Machado due up. Darren O'Day getting loose in the bullpen for the Orioles. He may get the save chance in this game. 1-0 delivery, fly ball, left center field. Buxton going back at the wall. Goodbye, home run! The Rickard ride continues. Touch him if you want some magic. His first major league home run.
Insurance runs certainly feel good. Joey Rickard getting the sunflower seed shower in the dugout. A lot of smiles there from the Orioles.
The Joey chant. Our Alexis of Towson drive of the game.
Oh, why not? Joey Rickard, red hot this series. He gets on the high fastball after some base hits to right field, showing the power. Ends up in the Orioles bullpen. Yeah, some excitement in the Orioles dugout.
4-2 lead. Our drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 luxury dealer. Come see why at lexusoftowson.com. This is quite the story going on for Joey Rickard. Foul fouled away by Reimold. Reimold a couple of hits, double single, and he is lined out. Everybody on the bench came to the fore in a hurry when that ball went up in the air, and no chance to be caught.
Yeah, came off the bat hot, 95 miles an hour, and Joey, taking an 0 for 3 coming in this last at bat. Comes up in a big way.
Buxton this time will move in, and Reimold is retired, one away here in the 8th inning. Fans want a curtain call by Joey.
He said, I'm not going. No, I'm not going.
There he goes. Look at the smiles in the dugout.
Oh, good stuff.
One down. Here's Manny Machado. 2 home runs for the Orioles tonight. Manny had the other one. Breaking ball by Trevor May is up high. His home run in the 6th inning. 2 for 3 in the ball game. A single. He has also struck out. Orioles have left only 3 on in the ball game. When they've gotten them on, they have gotten them in. 1-0 delivery on the way. Breaking ball is going to miss outside.
So you really have to love the adjustment that Joey Rickard made. They were really pounding him in aggressively in this ball game, and he started to make the adjustment. He finally got to a pitch in there, so it might change now the next series. Joey's shown that he can pull the hands inside and shoot the ball the other way. They're going to continue to stay in there aggressively. Joey's going to get him out of there, showing that power.
Last year in the minor leagues, he had 2 home runs. So he's half that.
Right.
Adam Jones not playing in the game with the oblique soreness. And a swing and a miss on a heater. Manny Machado with a 2-ball 2-strike count. Machado to be followed by Davis. The Orioles closing in. The potential sweep in this first series of the year. 2-2 delivery by May, and that's fouled right straight back.
Good pass there from Manny. That's a changeup, and still great balance, seeing the ball, recognizing the pitch, putting a quality swing in 2 strikes. Two delivery.
And a swing and a miss late on that one. And Manny a strikeout victim. A couple of Ks picked up by Trevor May. 2 down here in the 8th inning.
94-mile-an-hour fastball. Boy, does that have some life at the top of the zone there. Getting it by Machado. Good bat path. Just mixing up the pitches, though. Follow a 85-mile-an-hour changeup with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And that'll get a hitter a little off balance.
So a 2 down here is Chris Davis. Davis 0 for 3 in the ball game, 2 for 10 in the series. Now T.J. McFarland joins Darren O'Day in the bullpen. Joey Rickard joins the major leagues in some kind of fashion in 3 games. Pitch away. I was looking at the home runs that he hit in minors last year. He played in Charlotte. He didn't have any in 23. Played in Double-A ball at Montgomery. He had 2 home runs there in 65 games. Then he played Triple-A Durham, and he had 2 home runs there in 29 games. So that's where the home runs were last season, playing at 3 different levels. He did play winter ball in the Dominican for Escondido, and he had 6 home runs in winter ball in 191 at-bats. He played for a full season of winter ball last year.
Yeah, pretty amazing, right? But so players play the full minor league season, 144 games, and then off to winter ball to continue to get the repetitions and hone their skills. And it worked out for Joey Rickard.
He got him. Rickard gets the home run. The Orioles a run on a hit. Need 3 outs for the sweep. Rickard's the story. Up 4-2. Orioles lead 4-2 as we go to the 9th.
And now it's time for the Jiffy Lube pitching change. Jiffy Lube like to pitch you a change. Regular oil changes are proven to keep your car on the road longer. Drive in today. Well, Darren O'Day into the ball game. Take a look at his pitch arsenal last season. Fastball 42% of the time. The breaking ball 58% of the time. Great ability to locate that slider and ride that fastball to the top of the zone. 68 games, 152 earned run average with 82 punch outs and only 14 walks. Darren O'Day has been a monster out of this Orioles bullpen. Just inking a new 4-year deal this offseason. He is now a mainstay. Great leader out there, looking to come up with a save tonight.
He had 6 saves and 11 opportunities last year with the Orioles. In his major league career, 14 saves, and this is a save opportunity. It will be bunted foul. Trevor Plouffe trying to get on base here in the top of the 9th inning. 0 for 3 in the ball game. Orioles up by 2, and Jimenez a chance, the starter, to be the winner in this ball game. Use the pitcher of record, the starter for the Minnesota Twins. Bundy worked an inning, gave up 1 hit. Rosario and then Escobar are due up for Minnesota. 0-1 delivery. O'Day's pitch. It'll catch the outside corner for a strike.
A good pitch. A lot of hitters kind of give up on that, thinking that might be the slider. But he can crisscross with his 2-seam fastball, sink it in the bottom of the zone, or whip in that slider and keep hitters all confused.
Plouffe is 3 for 5 lifetime against Aaron O'Day. 2-strike delivery on the way, and Plouffe held up. Yes. Against the Twins, O'Day's lifetime numbers, an 0-1 record in 21 games. 1 save opportunity that he did not convert. 20 hits in 18 1/3 innings against the Twins. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Pretty dramatic ball game. 21-minute rain delay came in the 7th inning. The Orioles in that inning would come back after the rain delay to get the 2 runs that they needed to get the lead, and then the home run in the bottom half of the 8th inning to put them up 4-2 by Joey.
Big time insurance run there.
Count at 2-2. Twins facing an 0-3 start for the 2nd year in a row. 2-2 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss, and got him.
Beautiful front door slider here from Darren O'Day, and Plouffe almost looking like he was waiting on this pitch. Some frustration afterwards as the slider gets by him. First out in the 9th.
Visit MASNsports.com/CareFirst to vote for tonight's CareFirst Live Fearless Player of the Game. Live fearless with the name trusted for over 75 years. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield. 1 down. Manny Machado moves in at 3rd. Rosario, a couple of strikeouts, and he has grounded out. O'Day's pitch to him will be foul back. The Orioles try to sweep here at home against Minnesota for the first time since 2012 and open up the year with a very successful start to this homestand. Tomorrow Tampa Bay will be in town for the first of 3. 6:30 O's extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game. 0-1 count on Rosario. Very late on that one. 0-2.
Well, there's a hole there, and they keep targeting that area up and away on Rosario. Good pitch. He swung through maybe 3 or 4 of those pitches in this ball game.
O'Day coming out and throwing strikes. Oh-2 delivery on the way. And there are 2 down. Orioles baseball on MASN, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. From Joey to O'Day.
I love it.
Fans are into this one.
Yeah.
2 strikeouts, 2 down, 9th inning. Here is Escobar, double single, run scored, and he has struck out. Orioles up by 2, 1 out away from the sweep. It's their first strike. The irony being, of course, entering the series, Minnesota had 8 straight victories against the Orioles. Going back to 2014, they won all 7 games last year. And here the Orioles threatening to sweep.
And all pretty similar games.
Yep.
Very low scoring games and kind of some fluky things happening against the Orioles last season.
Everybody's looking for the win right there. 2 runs, 1 earned, 8 hits, 7 innings for the Orioles starter. Used 3 runs, 6 hits, 6+ innings. And O'Day after the save. 0-2, 2 outs. Escobar waiting. The Orioles again using strikeouts as a weapon, with Jimenez getting 9, 2 for O'Day. Had 34 Ks for the Oriole pitchers in this 3-game series for Buck Showalter's team. And then as equaling his high of last year.
Yeah, well, Ubaldo, a swing and miss stuff. When he's on, everything works. That split finger's nasty.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be up high. 2-ball, 2-strike count. 11,142 the announced attendance on hand and on their feet right now. And they have seen a really well-played ball game and a well-played series. 2 balls and 2 strikes. O'Day trying to finish it off right here. Escobar takes 3-2. 11,000 umpires said no, it's a strike.
That fan there thought it was a strike for sure. They're trying to backdoor that slider.
No, obviously don't want to put him on here. Murphy on deck. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Ball popped up. First base side. Joseph. Dugout. And it's on top of it and bounces away.
And Caleb wanted that out. Crashing into the fence there in front of the Orioles dugout.
Escobar not going quietly. 7th pitch of the at bat coming up to him. O'Day looking for his first career save against the Twins. Three-two again. And he strikes him out. And the Orioles have swept the Minnesota Twins in the first series of the year as Darren O'Day comes on to strike out the side in the 9th inning. And the Orioles win it by a score of 4-2. And what a way to start.
Boy, a beautiful slider here. Darren O'Day comes in and strikes out the side for the save. Yeah, great all-around series for this team. Great way to start the year.
Good ball games. Orioles come out on top on all 3, and we will come back and talk to one of the participants in just a minute.